The oldest songs of Arda were sung long before the sun ever rose. And in that age of darkness, a newly awakened people walked the starlit world, the Eldar. Among them was a people whose origin and destiny set them apart from all others. This video tells the story of the Vanyar Dynasty, the purest, eldest, and most beloved of the elf kind by the Valar. The Vanyar are the first and eldest of the three great kindreds of the elves. They were those who stood closest to the first light of creation. Soon after the awakening, their leader emerged, Ingwe. He was not merely a king, but the High King of all the Eldar, the most revered elf in the Blessed Realm. Defining traits of the Vanyar: golden hair, deep love of light and wisdom, drawn more to divine music than warfare, unshakable loyalty to the Valar, never returning to Middle-earth once they departed. When the Valar sought to shield the elves from Melkor's shadow, they summoned them to Valinor. The Vanyar were the first to answer this call. Ingwe ventured into Valinor as the very first ambassador of the Eldar. When the great journey finally ended, the Vanyar settled entirely in Valinor. Ingwe dwelt on the slopes of Taniquetil, nearest to the halls of Manwë. Thus, the Vanyar became friends and neighbors to the Valar themselves. For this reason Tolkien writes that Ingwe is the High King of all elves. Even Finwë of the Noldor and Elwë of the Teleri bowed before him. Vanyar culture centered on light, knowledge, beauty, and harmony. The years passed not in Mander's halls or on battlefields, but in peace, song, and contemplation. They sang divine melodies in Yavanna's gardens, rode in Arome's hunts, celebrated the stars of Varda, spoke with the Valar as beloved companions. The Vanyar preserved the purest form of the Eldarin tongue. They were also called the Golden-Haired Clan. Because of this, elves with golden hair, such as Galadriel, inherit that trait from Vanyarin ancestry. The Vanyar were not a people shaped by war, but when the shadow of Morgoth grew too great, Manwë summoned all armies for one final stand. And for the first and only time in their history, the Vanyar marched to war. That battle was the legendary War of Wrath. With the waters of Ulmo, the hosts of Tulkas, and the wrath of the Valar, the Vanyar descended upon Angband. They shone like a wave of radiant light sweeping across the battlefield. In that war, they struck some of the decisive blows that freed Middle-earth. After the victory, they returned to Valinor, choosing again the path of peace. Across the ages, Ingwe rarely departed from Valinor. His people remained known as the House of the Vanyar. Tolkien states plainly, Ingwe is the highest of all living elves. Neither Fëanor, nor Fingolfin, nor Gil-galad ever surpassed his authority. The Vanyar are the people of both the beginning and the end. The first to awaken, the last to go to war, and the ones who chose to dwell forever beside the light. The Vanyar dynasty shaped the fate of Arda not through conquest, but through the power of purity, harmony, and the eternal light of Valinor. In Tolkien's world, they represent the ideal of untainted grace. Elves as they were meant to be. If you enjoy uncovering the oldest secrets of Tolkien's universe, this channel is the place for you.